welcome back to the Q Review Playoff Preview Predictions, your one-stop shop for everything Quebec Maritimes Junior Hockey League and the unofficial podcast of the QMJHL. Chris, Tracy, Theo, Theo, it's playoff season. How are we
I was
feeling?
just I was just about to say it's playoffs, baby. Here we go. Q review back at it here with the playoff prediction preview. It's a rainy day here in Halifax, but you can. As I was walking today, I was downtown with my parents, and all you could see is a bunch of Mooseheads jerseys walking around, and you can tell it's playoffs.
And once again, Theo and I rock in the official Q Review hats. You can
I
get them
still
in
got the
gray.
sticker.
You can get them gray or blue. $35 taxes in. Just shoot Theo or I a text, DM, whatever you got to do. Give us a phone call if you want. If you just want to have a chat.
Yeah,
So yeah,
exactly.
pick up your key review hats today. Now I know we're talking playoffs. Speaking of playoffs, a team that sucks in the playoffs. Jays started up yesterday. Big 8-2 win over the Rays. Vlad
Yeah,
Guerrero lost some weight.
yeah, and he got a homer too. He should be popping off this year, and hopefully the Jays don't pull a little Leafs action and go out the first round, or hopefully they go far.
You know what? The sixth pitch of the game, they gave up that home run to Diaz. And I was like,
Mm,
season's over.
One game,
Uh,
first game out of how many? 500.
162.
There you go.
All right.
Um,
So we're not going to do game recaps this week. We're just going to get right into the playoffs. Playoffs start tonight with, I think it's most of
Mooseheads.
the matchups. I think there's two games that start tomorrow. But we'll get right into it. We're going to start with the Eastern Conference first. Number 7 Bathurst is going to take on number 2 Halifax. Season series Halifax 5-3-1-0. Bathurst has won the last 3. They just have their number this year. Bathurst.
Yeah, yeah. We were talking about it yet last pod about how I think the last two games when T-Tan was here, they both beat them, and they're just good when they're here in Halifax. Should be a good one.
Bathurst right now averaging 10.2 penalty minutes per game. Halifax team with really good special teams this year. Um, so it's going to be a tough one if Bathurst is going to take a bunch of penalties. My player to watch for both teams, Bathurst side, Antoine Keller, Washington Capitals prospect, goaltender for Bathurst. He's going to have to stand on his head if Bathurst wants a chance in this series, especially if they want to go more than 5.
Yeah, yeah. Goalie's obviously important for sure, and if you don't have goaltending, you can't win. What were you gonna say? You had a thought there.
Well, Frankie LaPena, we said last
Mm-hmm.
year, took Gatineau all the way to round 3.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a big reason why Gatineau was having a tough time scoring in round 2 and 3. And even in Halifax versus Sherbrooke last year, Mathis Rousseau was the difference.
Yeah, yeah,
Player to watch for Halifax. Here I have Brady Schultz / David Moravec. Jake Furlong was announced out for the playoffs, which is a huge
yeah.
loss for Halifax. Schultz and Moravec are going to have to take a lot of those minutes. They're going to get a lot more power play time, a lot more penalty kill time. Theo, who's your X factor in this series?
Well, just before I mention that, but you got to think about the not just the Brady Schultz and Moravec, but you got to think about the young guys like Owen Phillips. They're probably going to play a little more, but those guys need to do something. I know they probably won't get tons of minutes, but they're still going to get more than they're used to. But my X factor is obviously Matthew Catafor on the Mooseheads. 90 points I think he had this year up to that in the regular season, and he's been playing unbelievable this whole year. And obviously, last year in the playoffs, he played well, but obviously it didn't go their way. And for the T-Tank, Colby Huggin always has the Moosehead's number each time he's here. And that line, man, I think they have like Shark. I think it's Sharky and Huggy, both the PEI boys on that line, and yeah, they'll be doing something a lot.
So here's the thing: Jordan Dumais is sitting out game 1 to
Yeah,
finish off his suspension. You're going to the game tonight.
yeah.
You think Bathurst needs to win that game if they want to win the series?
100%, 100%. That first game here at home, well, away, I should say. If they don't win this, Dume's back tomorrow, um, it could be 2-0 Halifax. So they need this win bad, and you don't want to go 0-2 when you're back to T10.
And what's your prediction for this series?
Oof, that I have right in my notes here. I think it's going to be Game 7. Obviously, both hard fought teams, and we keep mentioning T10 does super well against Halifax. It's just a matter of goaltending and how well Russo plays, especially at home. This game without Dume, and I think goes 7 for sure.
So I've got Halifax in 6. I think Furlong being missing won't be as much of a factor in the first round. Um, round 2, maybe depending who they play. Round 3, I think, is when it's gonna, the wear is gonna show.
Yeah,
We called up a couple D prospects: Eddie Doyle, Jameson George. So I think game 6 easily could go 7. Like I could see it
yeah,
go 7. It's definitely not going to be a wash. No sweep. No five
no.
games. But yeah, no, it should be a good series. Probably one of the best ones of the first round.
And without Furlong out too, you got to think. I know I mentioned the rookies too, but they're just going to be tired too. The defense are going to be playing way more minutes, and by the third round, you're right. If they go all the way, everybody's just going to be tired without Furlong for sure. Because he plays what 22 minutes a night, probably something like that around there. And yeah,
Yeah.
they got to step up.
Yeah. So just so you guys know, we're only doing the first round predictions just because we don't necessarily know who's going to play in the second round.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Next up, we got number 6 Chicoutimi taking on number 3 Moncton. That series went 2-2 on the season. Wildcats with the top power play in the league, while Chicoutimi's third. Very similar penalty kills. Chicoutimi at an 80, Moncton at 79.3.
Hmm.
Pretty well the closest matchup of all of the playoff series. Players to watch: Thomas DeRousseau, former first round pick of Cape Breton, got traded to Chicoutimi for a new start. So is his 60 points on the season a fluke? Because besides Max and Masse, they really need that secondary scoring.
Yeah, absolutely. And just with Maxi Masse too, like who's gonna follow up behind him? That line though, I forget who's on it with that first line. That could be a whole X factor because Victoria's defense is pretty good too. They're not bad. It's mediocre, but and they need someone to step up for sure in that
The
secondary
Chicoutimi
score.
defense.
Yeah, Shikutimi defense, excuse me, um, needs someone to step up for sure.
And then Moncton's player to watch, Miles Mueller, 9 goals in his last 10 games. Can he stay hot?
I think so. It's kind of like Matthew Catafor. If he's close to 90 as well, and he he'll be having to step up in the playoffs and just the momentum progress, in my opinion.
Who do you got?
I don't know. I have in my notes the big question mark because this could go either way. With mild music, mild, can't even say it. Too much coffee today. With Mueller, I got Moncton in 6.
So I've got Moncton in 7. I really think this one goes the distance. They have the edge in goal with Jacob Steinman. That's kind of the reason that I gave it to Moncton. Their team's a lot
Yeah,
deeper, especially on D. So I think Moncton's going to take this one.
yeah,
Rimouski plays Cape Breton, the 5 versus 4. Cape Breton, for the first time in 7 years, is going to open up the playoffs at home. Season series was a 2-0 sweep by Rimouski. Power play for Rimouski is tied for 7th in the league with 24.6%. Cape Breton penalty kills second in the league at 81.4, and they're the best in the league at home on the penalty kill. Players to watch: Rimouski, I got Max Barbashev. Brought him in as an OA from Shawinigan/Moncton. I expect him to step up in his final year for that Rangers draft pick. And Cape
hmm,
Breton goaltending. Nick Rucha, I expect him to start the series.
yeah.
And it's going to be a solid. He's got to be solid to win the series. Um, it's another tight one. I've got the Eagles in 7 just because of home ice advantage. Plus, Rimouski's missing Quentin Miller,
But yeah, I
so
have that
he's
in my
gonna be
notes
out.
as well. Yeah,
That's a tough loss for Rimouski. They leaned on him most of the year. He's a big reason why they even finished 5th. So without Miller, like I think the Eagles will take it, um, just because of how close they are with special teams and stuff. I've got 7. Could easily
yeah.
be less.
And you got to think. Obviously, you are right. Probably be Nicholas Rucha playing, but you got to Do you think Jacob Malota will play at all? Like do a little half and half action or not a point?
I mean, if Rucha gets lit up tonight, I could see Melota going in, maybe playing game two. Um,
Yeah.
having deep goaltending is not a bad thing to have. you can,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. That's what I mean.
they're one of those teams that like if one goalie got injured tomorrow, they're not screwed,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
Ramuski's in a situation right now where Quentin Miller's out, so that's like I said, the only reason I put them ahead.
Yeah.
Who
That's
do you
true.
got?
I don't know. I like Cape Breton, man. That we've been all over them this whole year, and just the situation what happened with Jacob Newcomb, and I think it might sound a little stupid, but I think it's a huge factor of him coming back and them come they get I can't speak them getting the morale back and him back in the locker room and producing points too. It just makes it all special, and all those guys want to do it for him. And yeah, and I got Cape Breton 6.
Lastly, in the Eastern Conference, we got the number 8 Charlottetown versus number 1 Baie-Comeau. Baie-Comeau season series 2-0. Baie-Comeau this season at home 28-4-2-0. Players to watch for Charlottetown: Will Shields, 20 points in 30 games since coming over from Cape Breton in that Lucas Romeo deal. And by the way, he's actually out right now for Cape Breton, so that's another guy that's been tearing it
Mm,
up for the Eagles, and he'll be out. Um,
hmm
Will Shields, he's got to bring that secondary scoring. Um,
hmm
guys like Horth, um, Giovanni Morneau, like they're obviously good, but at the end of the day, two guys aren't going to win you games. Look
Yeah.
at the Oilers.
Yeah, exactly.
um, for Baie-Comeau, Justin Poirier, first
Yeah.
17-year-old to score 50 goals since Sidney Crosby. Look for him to take the series over.
Yeah.
He's going to take it
Yeah.
over. This is his series. Um, I've got Baie-Comeau in 5. Scrappiness of the Islanders might give them a win. For some
Mm,
reason, they always play the top teams hard, kind of like a New York Islanders style. So I've
yeah.
got Baie-Comeau in 5.
Yeah, that's not a bad take at all, but I got a sweep here. This might sound surprising, but with Justin Poirier and that whole offense from head to toe till defense and CRLO, just all those guys just absolutely unreal. But you are right. Charlottetown's got a big team too. Like their forecheck definitely huge with like Cole Hawkins and all those guys. And um, but yeah, I think Bakemow is just way too strong, and they'll probably go all the way.
And another question, like the scrappiness, can Charles Edward Gravel handle it in goal? He's a
That's
he's a guy that doesn't face many shots,
mm,
similar to Nick Herbites in St. John when they won the Mem Cup, similar to Will Rousseau when they won the Mem Cup with Quebec. So yeah, can he be the goaltender to just be there, stop
yeah,
pucks? They don't need him to be fantastic. It's not like they're playing Drummondville, right? So
yeah,
they just need him to be there and just make the saves he can.
yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
Yeah,
we're going to head to the West. 5 versus 4, Blainville and Sherbrooke. This is an interesting series. So Phoenix have lost their last 5. Very low scoring series, I think it's going to be.
hmm
215 goals for Sherbrooke, 214 for Blainville. Phoenix obviously had the edge in goaltending with Samuel St. Hilaire.
hmm
Team Canada invite won a gold medal. Or no, they didn't win gold, did they? He was on the team though.
mm. I think they lost to UF, didn't they?
They lost to Czechia. I remember it now.
Yeah. Okay.
Our buddy Thomas Sabolka ended their run.
hmm
Thanks a lot, Thomas. Players to watch: Blainville, Jonathan Fauchon. He led the team in scoring. Um, besides him, like there's not that many guys on Blainville that score.
Yeah.
Mateo Mabert comes to mind, but they need him to take over if they want to win. And as far as Sherbrooke goes, secondary scoring, not a specific guy, just secondary scoring in general. We all know
Yeah.
how good Israel Mananskom's been this year. Everyone thought he was going to get traded to Halifax. That didn't happen. Now they're in 4th in the conference. And, guys like Maverick Lachance, we talked about him last week, leading rookies in goals. Hugo Primo, Andrew Belchamber, they need to support Mananskom or else they're not going to win. They're
Yeah.
simple as
Yeah.
that. I've got the Phoenix in 6, more depth, better goaltending. It's just a recipe for success for the Sherbrooke Phoenix.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same way, but you got to give credit to Blainville as well. But because what were we saying? What was our prediction earlier in the year? I can't remember
So
yours.
Blainville got kind of screwed last year because they picked up
Mm,
Josh Lawrence. They picked up Patrick Gay, who ended up going to Vegas.
hmm
And so they had to kind of rebuild on the fly. They traded all their draft picks to get Lawrence and Gay. Will Trudeau as well. They had him locked up and then they lost him to Montreal. So they kind of faced some adversity. And this year they improved in the standings by 17 points. So, that's lots to be proud of in that organization. And
hmm
it's always tough, your plan doesn't go as you want. It's easy for guys like Big Camo that knew they were going to be good this year.
hmm
Blainville just had to work hard every single game, and it obviously paid off because they made the playoffs.
Yeah, and it's kind of the thing they got nothing to lose really, in my opinion. They're only going to get better as they're kind of in the rebuild stage. They don't got a lot of old guys. But like Matt McDonald, he's not on the team anymore. I don't know if he got sent down or whatnot, but
He
he
left
was
for
he
West Kent.
yeah. So just that those small things, but I don't know. I think Sherbrooke takes this in six if that's um, uh, doable in my opinion. But like that's the thing with me. I don't know much about these two teams with the Western Conference, but yeah,
Okay, next up we got St. John, number 8, taking on Drummondville. Yes, St. John is in the Eastern Conference, but if they finished higher than one of the Western Conference teams, so they switch over to the Western Conference to take their
yeah,
place. Same thing as last year. They snuck into the playoffs on the last day. Um, Season series was 2-0 sweep by Drummondville. St. John, like we said, moves to the West. Drummondville has 306 goals for, while St. John has 293 goals against. Jeez.
mm.
Uh, that's not good. So players to watch: Patrick Lever,
hmm
goaltender for St. John, overager, brought in from the OHL. He's going to face a lot of shots, but we've seen it. He's made 48 save games, 45. Like he can be that guy. He could steal this series potentially. I
hmm
don't think they're going to win it, but he could definitely steal a game or two.
yeah,
Um, so that's the question. Can he steal any games? On the Drummondville side, Vasavlad Komarov, Buffalo Sabres prospect. Maverick Lamoureux's out with injury. They brought Komarov over for this reason. He's got to play those big minutes, bring that Memorial Cup experience from Quebec to the Voltigeur. So he's the X factor for Drummondville. I've got a clean sweep, Drummondville and
yeah.
St. John. And I'm
I got the
pretty sure we're not the only ones that said that.
yeah
I've seen
no
lots of people say that.
Yeah, we were mentioning at school that I got Drumville in a full sweep. Just that Luke Woodworth, all those guys, and you got to think about for St. John though, Tyler Peddle revenge tour maybe. I don't know if maybe he'll produce, but after getting traded from Drummondville and obviously the loss of Peter Reynolds on St. John to Halifax, they're just losing those key guys. I just don't think St. John has a chance. But yeah, good mention on Patrick Lever. He's a stud out there, and he could definitely win one for them. But I don't see it. Maybe overtime, but I don't know. I think it's a clean sweep.
Gatineau, Rouen, Noranda. Gatineau 7, Rouen, Noranda 2. Season series, Rouen, Noranda 6-0-0-1. Gatineau power play is 21%. Rouen, Noranda is 25. Slightly better against Gatineau with a 26.7. Question here: can Rouen, Noranda stay out of the box? They're averaging 10.4 penalty minutes per game. Special teams is going to be huge in this series. Players to watch: Charles Boutin. He came over from Cape Breton, 20-year-old guy, 77 points for second on the team. He needs to bring that leadership if they want to pull some games out here. And for a team that we thought was going to miss the playoffs, Gatineau, I'm pretty impressed that they're the seventh.
Yeah, I know. I'm surprised they didn't get dead last and miss the playoffs. But yeah, good for them for sure.
For Rouen Aranda, Jeremy Langlaw, Arizona Coyotes prospect. Dylan Gill is out right now, team captain, so he's got to log those minutes. He led the D in scoring for Rouen Aranda with 62 points. So look for him to be a big factor on that blue line for the Rouen Aranda Huskies.
Hmm.
Huskies in 5.
Yeah, yeah.
Huskies in
Like
5.
me and you have the same notes here. Like Louis Philippe Fontaine, he's been stepping up too lately. Thomas Verdon, like all those guys. And I think they should step up. And you got to watch Leighton Crothers too. I know he's not been producing lately. Let's see what happens with him if he steps up. I think he's only a fourth liner right now. I think he got sent down quite a bit. I think I saw on their Instagram. But just those little things. All those guys, top to bottom,
I just
they'll
don't
make
see
the
many
five.
upsets in this playoff. Like,
Yeah, I know.
the only one I can maybe see is Chicoutimi over Moncton. Um, that's if Mathis Fernandez plays good. I would have said Rimouski over Cape Breton, but Quentin Miller's not playing.
Mm.
So there's that. And then yeah, that's pretty
We're
much.
we're we're
Um,
trying to make it here, but it's hard. We're trying to have some upset
you can only do what you
ourselves
can.
look stupid. Yeah, true, true.
All right. Last series here in the Western Conference. Shawinigan number 6 over number 3 Victoriaville. Victo took this one easily 7-0-0-1. Shawinigan, though, 3-game heater coming into the playoffs. Victo's sitting at a 25.6% power play. Can they keep that up? And can Shawinigan fend that off? They're a team that's very good defensively. They've always had good defensive players. Jordan Turigny. Of course, they lost Angus Booth to Bay Camo, but um, both teams, they both take a lot of penalties. 9.5 PIMs per game for Shawinigan.
Hmm.
Victo, 11.4. Special teams going to be a huge factor. My players to watch: Felix Lacerte, Rookie of the Year nominee last year. Can he take this series over and lead that offense? Because right now he's like their offense. Him and Vince Ellie. For Victo, Nathan Darvo. We said goaltending wins you playoff series. Nathan Darvo, one of the
Hmm.
best goalies in the queue. He's got to be stellar if they want to go on a long run. I compare him to Frankie LaPena last year.
Yeah,
He needs to be the guy. He needs to take every series. He needs to steal every game.
yeah, that's
Um,
true.
who do you got?
I was gonna ask who you got first because both these teams, I know. Uh, um, wait, you lagged out there for a sec. Both these teams, goalies are important, but with Shawinigan kind of in the rebuild, but Victoriaville's kind of stepping up, and they added a lot of new guys. But Lacerte, excuse me, obviously that key factor, and um, I don't know that this one's a hard one for me, but I'm going Victoriaville on this one.
How many games?
I'm gonna say
I've also
six
got
games.
6.
Yeah,
I just, Nathan Darvo is such a better player in goal.
yeah,
Um, I
yeah,
honestly couldn't even tell you who Shawinigan's goalie is right now.
yeah.
Um,
And it's funny you mentioned about the penalties. Each note I had of both teams, just I like to talk about the penalties in each game, and each game they're just flooded with minors and it's or majors or whatnot. It's funny.
yeah, so I think Victoriaville will win in 6. Um, and
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, oh, it is Mathis Fernandez playing for Shawinigan right now.
Okay. Sweet.
Okay, so I definitely messed that up. That's my bad, Mathis. He's a good goaltender. Like,
Yeah.
the goaltending matchup's definitely really good. Um,
Hmm.
I think it's gonna be Remy De La Fontaine for Chicoutimi, or
I
Raphael
don't know.
Point.
I don't really know much about them, but either way, always important with the goaltending.
Yeah, so honestly, fans, like, I don't see any upsets
Yeah.
except maybe Chicoutimi.
Don't put that in the thumbnail and no one's gonna watch it. No
Yeah,
upsets from peer review.
yeah. So yeah, playoff season coming up. Theo, who do you think is gonna be the MVP of the first round?
So I think this is a given. Justin Poirier from Vacamo. I think he's gonna be unreal. Um, just from facing a bad Charlottetown team. Well, not bad, but not great. And you said Charlottetown doesn't really face a lot of shots. And I think Justin Poirier's time to shine right there in the slot, get those primetime goals.
You're not going to expect my name, but I'm saying Riley Mercer for Drummondville.
Nice. I like
Um,
that.
Everyone's question, even us, question Riley Mercer coming into the season,
Yep.
and his team's first place in the West. So,
Yeah.
this is his chance playing that lowly Sea Dogs team to really step up, make a bunch of big saves, get that save percentage up, and yeah, get some looks next year for the NHL.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so playoffs,
Can't wait, man.
exciting
Heading down
time.
soon. Have a couple drinks before the game, and then we'll keep. And also, I guess you guys are going to be watching this tomorrow, but I'll keep you guys updated on the scores on our on our Instagram story at Key Review. And then yeah, should be fun.
Yep, Q review underscore pod. Theo will be providing updates throughout the game. I'll be at game 2 on Saturday, so we'll see if one of us
I might
can.
as well.
So yeah, thanks for listening to the playoff preview for the season. Make sure you check out CHL TV to check out all those games. And if not, you can always watch the Blue Jays blow some one-run leads. With
Absolutely.
Chris, Theo, we'll see you guys next week for our second round predictions if the second round starts by then.
Thanks, guys.